Hello folks, exeter-rider here. Thanks for tuning in again. This is part 2 of how a DCT gearbox works. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, then you do need to see part 1 first, okay? Because you'll be missing the boathouse. So watch part 1 if you haven't seen it so far. I'll put a card up here for part 1. But if you've seen that, then this is part 2, and this is me riding around Exeter in a sort of everyday use type of way. So enjoy the video, and I will see you soon. Cheers. Right, okay, so that's that done. So what I'm going to do now is head into some traffic and busier stuff, and a bit more varied riding, and you can see how it reacts. You can see how much I'm opening the throttle there. I'm just holding it there, and it's in drive mode now, so it's just picking the highest gear as soon as it possibly can. Hopefully I'm still recording, looks promising. Which lane do I want here? I want the left lane here, don't I? Notice it changed down then when I gave it a bit of throttle. So again, I'm letting all the bike do the whole lot now, all the gear changing. I'll show you how it pulls off now in drive mode. See how it changes up. I'm going to go sort of half throttle here, get away from the traffic. As you can see by those lines over there, it's all over the place, and people don't tend to know where they're going here. I don't half the time. I've been here loads of times. Here we go. Trying to make it obvious as well how much throttle I'm giving it, so you can see what's going on there. Pulls away lovely from traffic. You ain't got to think about clutch, you can just concentrate on what the other cars are doing and stuff like that, and what you're doing, rather than thinking about gearing and all that. Open it up and it goes. I have actually downshift, look. Down into 1, lovely jubbly. I have actually made one of these videos already, but it was at night time. I thought it was going to do me a favour. It's just a little bit of throttle there. See, it's changing up. It knows I don't want to get away quickly. So what are we in, 4th gear now, I guess? I can't see it obviously because I got my phone there, but I might even be in 5th gear now, maybe 6th. I don't think I'll be in 6th yet, but can you hear that tyre noise at the front? It's very loud. Well, it's not very loud, but it's annoying. Again, I'm downshifting, look. Which it would have done for me anyway, but I just wanted a bit of engine braking then, so I overrode it. I think what we'll actually do is we'll go for a heavy tree actually. So I need to change lanes pretty quick here. I might mess this up, mightn't I? It's a little bit of throttle now, you'll be able to see it steadily go up. As you can see, it's incredibly clever. I don't think to memory that I've
I've ever caught it out. I've tried to catch it out before now and done like a downhill stretch and then gone uphill and seen if it can distinguish, if I can get the word out, between the two. But actually it always gets it right. I've had a couple lumpy stops where I've come to the traffic lights and it's sort of changed down into first a little bit late. But I've never known anyone have any problems with these DCTs. The Africa Twin has had a few issues where it doesn't select first when you turn on the ignition, and so is this bike. And there is a reset procedure which you can find on the internet. I won't put it up on here, but there's a reset filtering reset procedure you can do to reset the ECU for the DCT. So that's easily fixed. But as I say, it's a very, very nice way of riding. The other DCT I rode was the Africa Twin, and it behaves pretty much the same, but you just got loads more power. I tried the Adventure Sports model, so it's the proper touring Adventure Twin, and in all honesty it's a bit too high for me. As much as I love the bike, it was too high. I'd love to try the standard one, and certainly next year we've got the 1100 coming out next year, so that's going to have cruise control on it as well. So compared to my other review on it, I won't be moaning about it not having cruise control, so that'd be great. Be catching up with the GS then for sure. I expect that's the idea, isn't it? I might have cornered that one as well, I reckon, on the new one. See it change? I think it changed down then. I expect you guys can probably see that more than me. Where's that coming from? There he is. Again, I don't have to think about knocking down here. It does it all for me. You might be able to hear the clunk on the microphone that I've got here, but probably not actually. But again, see that it's going up and down, don't quite know what to do, which if I change it into sport it'll be into second, but if I was to slow down again, take it off a bit, again it doesn't know what to do. Whereas if I put it into sport now, it's in Sport 3, it's same as Sport 1, it would just go, I could go fast or slow, and it would just do the same thing. It would just hold into gear 1. So that's where it comes in handy with traffic. Stick it into drive again. Clever stuff, eh? Will I always have this bike? No, definitely not. I will one day get another bike. But trying to think of a bike, my next bike, I kind of feel restricted because I really want the DCT again. I'm really happy with it. I can't quite imagine having a manual bike again. It would be just seems pointless. All this, all this rubbish. Like I just want to. It kind of feels unnecessary once you tried one of the. Well, I think it's not for everyone. This bike is not for everyone, or DCT on in general isn't for everybody. But some people just literally can't get their heads around it. They like it, but they just can't get their heads around it, and that's fair enough. I think it's a bit of a old dogs and new tricks scenario on that one. I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't know if you know the story, but I had scooters for years. And when I got my first geared motorbike, I didn't want to go back to scooters. And in 2016, I was down at Bridge Motorcycles, and can't remember what I tried now. I think it's a CB500F. I think I've done. It was on my own channel. It's rubbish. It was a rubbish video. And I saw the Nc750X. That, you know, similar to this in every way. It was same model, 2016 model, just new out. And one of the guys down there, I think it was Simon, said, "Oh, do you want to try that one?" And I instantly said, no, it's not for me. Like, I've had scooters before. And he said, no, it is totally different. Oh, it's a Bergman 650 there. That's what I used to have. Speaking of scooters. And yeah, I totally dismissed it. And over the time, you know, trying bikes now, and with the amount I've tried, I've realised how important it is to try these bikes before you judge. Because guaranteed, every single time, no matter what you think a bike is going to ride like, when you actually get on it, it's utterly different. Sometimes it's disappointing. Sometimes you can really big it up. I was like that with the 500X. You know, I bigged it up and that was my next bike. And I tried it. Absolute disaster. I just didn't like it at all. Oh, good man. Thank you. He's letting me out, so let's do him the favour. Thank you. Yeah, so yeah, you got to, you know, unless you try the bikes, then you never know, really. I'm going to start making my way back now anyway, and just jump in there before they change. I can see that there going there, so I'm okay to move up to the front. Again, I can do that much easier mentally because I haven't got the gears to think about. I'm kind of hoping that this video is going to answer a lot of questions for people. I've been still in the sport look. Alright, let's change it back to drive. That's better. I like chugging around. I don't need to be in sport all the time. I thought it was changing up a bit late. Yeah, so I mean, before I tried DCT, I was always interested in it, in how it worked. So I think I've pretty much covered everything. I've done manual, I've done all that. I've explained that you can downshift while in DCT. So hopefully that's going to answer it all. If you've got any questions, then just stick them in the comments, and I always answer the comments I get, so it's not a problem. If you're watching this a couple of years down the line, I expect the channel's grown to the point where I can't answer the comments anymore. So if that is the case, I haven't got a crystal ball. If that is the case, then I do apologise. I'm struggling to keep up with them now, to be honest with you, at times, but still achievable at the moment. Look at that, look, 23 miles an hour in 4th gear. So yeah, drop them in the comments. You know, I'm expecting some questions anyway. As I say, the Africa Twin, the Honda Goldwing, what else is there, Cross Tourer, Integra scooter, they all behave the same, but obviously if it's got a bigger engine, it's got more power, and it does make it better and a better ride. But this Nc750X is fantastic to ride. You know, even on the motorway, it's still got plenty of pull. They got so many things right on this bike. They really have. They've hit the nail on the head on many subjects. You know, people say that it does a lot, but it doesn't do anything particularly well. God knows where they're getting that from. It does a lot of things well. I'm not saying it in a biased way. Gets it right, sorry. I'm not saying it in a biased way. Okay, mate. But it really does. It has got a lot of things right in a lot of ways. as you know, the main issues I've got really is the seat and that whine of the tyre noise, if you can hear that. But that will change when I change it to PR5s or PR4s, the front tyres, so I've got a few miles to do yet before that happens. But yeah, that's a bit fast. Yeah, it's a super bike, really is, really good. Can't see me changing it for a while, but with all these bikes I try, you know, it's I'll never discount that happening. Alright, let's get back home. Come on, hurry up! I'm not joking. Well, anyway, that was just a quick video of how the DCT works and my thoughts on it. As I say, may not be for you, but it is definitely for me and many other people. As per normal, please, all I ask really is that if you're watching this video, is that you do click the subscribe button and hit the bell as well, because that means that you'll get notifications. See, it's getting a bit lumpy now. Waiting for it to change down. I'll throttle off a little bit, see what happens. There, it's gone down now. Anyway, yeah, click the bell as well. As I say, I get pretty much nothing for doing all this sort of stuff, and as much as I love it, it's kind of, I'm only going to be doing it for a certain amount of time. Just want to start off again, see what it does. Yeah, I can only do it for a certain amount of time, you know, but you subscribing and liking does make a huge difference. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.